What is currently happening in the Nashville real estate market? We're watching temperatures heat up, and so is our market. So stay tuned because I'm going to be giving you a look in today's video at our stats and statistics and tell you exactly what's happening in the Nashville real estate market. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin Martin and I'm a local Nashville real estate agent and founder of the Caitlin Martin team. We specialize in helping out-of-staters looking to relocate to the Middle Tennessee area. Now, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much. Please feel free to click subscribe down below so that you are notified every time I release new video content all about making the move to the Middle Tennessee area. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about what's currently happening in the Nashville real estate market. We're taking a look at the statistics from the Greater Nashville Realtors organization, where each month they put out our monthly data to show us exactly what has been happening. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about what happened as of April. So we're first going to be taking a look at data from Greater Nashville Realtors. Every month they put together statistics of what happened the month prior. So we're going to be taking a look at what happened in April of 2024. And then we're also going to be talking about what we're seeing in the day-to-day market and just what you need to know if you're thinking about actually making a move here, because one of the biggest questions that I hear from folks that are looking to make the move is, when is the market going to calm down? When's it going to relax? When are prices coming down? So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be taking a look at Greater Nashville Realtor statistics overall, which encompasses all of the counties that make up the Middle Tennessee area. Plus, we're going to actually zero in on Brentwood, Franklin, and Nolensville to take a look, because I've always said it, real estate is hyper local. So, what's happening in the Greater Nashville area compared to what's, as you dial in further to say Brentwood, Franklin, or Nolensville can vary just a little bit. So we're going to be taking a look at that too. So let's go ahead and dive on into these numbers. So when we take a look at our numbers, our closings for April of this year compared to April of last year, when we're looking at year over year, our closings were actually up 11%, which is great. And we definitely have felt that within the market, because last April felt like it was a bit of a weird spring month, because April seemed to be a little bit slow, but then again, we saw a stronger May, June, July. And so this year, we were kind of wondering, did the spring season peak a little bit early last year? Because we did start to see activity in January and February leading into the traditional spring market. Whereas here, our numbers are showing that yes, the number of sales were up 11% over the same time last year. And we've certainly been feeling that just being in the market day to day. So we're really settling back more into that true spring selling season. Another thing that we're taking a look at is inventory. So we actually currently, as of April, had the most inventory on the market that we had seen all of this year and in all of 2023. Now, when I say that, of course, we actually have to take a look at those numbers. So in April of 2024, we had a total of 10,419 properties on the market. Now that's homes, condos, land, it encompasses all of that. And so we had that much on the market. Now, in all of 2023, the closest to that number was actually in October of 2023, when our total inventory was sitting at 10,235 properties. Now, people can say, well, if your inventory is increasing, does this mean that prices are going to go down? The answer is no, not necessarily. And we're going to take a look further into those statistics to see what it's telling us, because even though we've seen inventory go up a bit, we also have to look at what our days on market is doing. And when we take a look at days on market, as of April, we are showing the lowest days on market that we've seen all year. So we started the year out just shy of 60 days on market, and now we're sitting at an average of 46. So we have watched that number come back down. So even though there's a little bit more on the market, it's still not sitting a long time. So that does indicate to us that, in April, it makes sense. We're in the traditional spring selling season, so we do typically see more homes come to market then. And so that is part of what's contributing to that higher number. But when you pair that with days on market, that is showing us that homes are still going, because even though this may be the highest inventory number that we've seen in a while, statistically speaking, it's not dramatically that much higher. Plus, again, it is the spring selling season when a lot of people do choose to sell, but we do know that properties continue to go. We're still sitting in a traditional seller's market. And as long as we're sitting in a traditional seller's market, which is anything that is between 0 to about 4 months on market, that market time is generally considered a seller's market. That 5 to 6 months is going to be considered a neutral market, and 6 months plus is going to be considered a buyer's market. So even at 46 days, we're still sitting right there within a seller's market. Now, there's certainly more opportunity and more deals to be had, more negotiation power for buyers than what we had seen in some previous years. Yes, of course, there's interest rates mixed into all of that, but still a lot of great opportunity that's happening. But we do know that even though we've seen a little bit more inventory come to the market, homes are still going under contract fairly quickly. We've been talking about the days on market. We've also mentioned the inventory, but we also have to look at what's happening with our pricing. Where do we compare to the same time last year? Because if people are asking when are prices going to come down, we have to take a look at that number as well. So when we are looking at the median home sale price for a single family home in April of 2024 compared to that of 2023. In 2024, it was sitting at $505. Now we compare that back to what it was in April of 2023. Then we got to compare it to April of 2023, which was $468,300. So good news. Homes are still appreciating. So you have to take a look at all of that. So when people are asking, when are we going to see prices come down? We actually have to take a look at 4 metrics. And if all 4 metrics are met, then that means that we're actually a market in retraction, which then is going to predictably lead to home prices coming down. So those 4 conditions are going to be, you have to see an inventory increase. Then you have to see sales decreasing. Days on market have to increase, and then price decreasing. When you have all of those in play, you have a market in retraction, which you can then comfortably predict that you're going to start to see pricing come down. But we're actually going to dive into our MLS. I'm going to pull up some graphs so that you can see, because again, when people are asking when prices are going to decrease, it looks like it's not on the horizon, is essentially the answer. And so if you are hoping, if you wait long enough that they're going to come down, you're probably going to be waiting for a really long time. In fact, at the beginning of the year, the experts were predicting that home prices across the US are expected to continue to appreciate at least through 2028. So again, we're looking at, that's at least 4 years away, and that's looking on a national scale. Now we have many factors here in the Nashville market that are working for us, between our economy, our low unemployment, headquarters relocating here, more jobs coming to Nashville. We've got a lot working for us. And so when you have those factors in play, it's not to say that Nashville is immune from something happening on a national scale. We just have more insulation than other cities. And from the foreseeable future, we are looking to only continue to see home prices continue to appreciate. So let's actually go take a look at the MLS, look at the data. I don't want anyone to just believe what I say. The numbers are going to tell the story for me. So let's go ahead and dive on into that so you can see what is happening in our market. Here we are actually taking a look at the market data for April of 2024 for single family home in Brentwood, Nolensville, and Franklin. And so this is going to be a snapshot that our MLS system provides. And so as you can see, we can see, and again, this is combining data from all 3 of these areas into these numbers that you're seeing here with the year over year. And so, there's a couple of things that I want to dive into, but we're going to actually jump in and take a look at some other graphs as well. But as you can see, the average home sale price is up 8% in these communities from the same time last year. The median sales price is also up. It is more conservative at 3%, but whether you take the average or the median, prices are still continuing to go up. Days on market, it is down. It says 7%. I know if you're looking at these numbers, it's 28 to 26. So that's 2 days, but still, we're watching this market continue to move. Again, month supply has actually gone down. We went from 3.38 to 3.1. And so down here, obviously you can see Brentwood, Nolensville, Franklin. You can see the individual numbers that are in these various categories. And so again, if we're looking at things like average days on market for these closed properties, 24, 22, 31, very much a seller's market. Then again, if we're taking a look at month supply, 3.7, 2.76, 2.8, that averages out to that 3.1. So again, what we're seeing, we don't have those 4 conditions all at play at one time. They all have to be in play in order for us to see a market retraction. Now, the other thing, I'm going to pull up this timeline because this graph certainly helps just to be able to see. I'm actually going to back this out to show the last 5 years, because again, when people are taking a look at our market data, I know that there can still be a lot of fear instilled in people, basically, thinking back to like what happened in 08. But when we start to look at the chart, seeing what it's doing, this helps give us a better idea of where things are trending. Especially because our market went white hot. We saw multiple offers. We went exceedingly over list price. All of that took place. And so people thought that, we had reached the peak. So of course we had to come back down. But there are certain things that, we're keeping an eye on. And as you look, you can see that, yes, you're going to have ups and downs, but the overall trend of this chart continues to move in an upward trajectory, especially when we're looking at the average sale price. Taking a look at the median, of course, a little bit more conservative, but it's all still trending up. When you're looking at real estate, it's easy to get bogged down in the idea of interest rates or things like that. But if you are somebody that's looking to make the move, if you are trying to time it, just know that sometimes the cost of waiting can absolutely come into play. Okay, so when I talked about inventory going up, I'm sure that if you're looking at the metrics, you can say, well, the inventory is going up. So, the market could be getting ready to take a turn. We got to look at it all relative. And again, those numbers were for Nashville in general, but really we're looking here at Brentwood, Franklin, Nolensville, and not because that changes the data a whole lot, but because, these are big areas of focus for me. And these are areas that people are really interested in moving. And so when we're taking a look at it here, we're going back all the way to April of 2019, which 2019 was still a good real estate year for us. We were still in a seller's market. And so if you take a look, you watch how the inventory came down, and even where we're sitting inventory wise as of April, we're still not really, at least when we're looking at Franklin, we're still not back up to where Franklin was. We're a little bit on par there when it comes to Brentwood. But even the inventory in Nolensville is down compared to what it was in 2019. So this is something to keep in mind that, yes, we've seen an uptick, but when you're looking at a larger snapshot, we're still not back to where we were prior to our market going, to it really getting white hot that we've seen, 2021, 2022. Okay, so this is also something that I really want to take a look at and point out, because again, this speaks to where we're going pricing wise. So this is going to be the average sales price compared to the list price, what that percentage looks like. So if you take a look here, again, we're taking a 5-year snapshot. This is when our market was going absolutely wild. But you can take a look at where we are now, because again, when people start to say, when is pricing going to go down, we have to look at what is the average sales price compared to where it was listed. And so as we can see here, in Brentwood as of April, and again, this is single family home, things were selling at 97.16 of list price. In Nolensville, it was at 99.25, and in Franklin, it was at 98.97. So again, it's still close within that. We're not watching people take 70% of list, 60% of list. I mean, it is still very close to list price. And again, part of that is because we still are seeing that buyer demand that's coming in. And so because of that, demand is driving pricing. It's just, when people are saying, well, we're seeing price decreases now. Well, yes, that is happening. However, we have to take a look at how much are sellers really conceding when it comes to price. The other thing that we can take a look at, so that's the average sales price compared to the list price of when it sold. Then we can go to the average sales price compared to the original list. And I mean, we're sitting, as you can see, this chart, even here, we're taking a look at the average sale price compared to the original. So the difference between the two is the original is what it was first listed at, and the average sales price per list price is maybe if they had done a price drop and then it went under contract. So again, this graph is pretty flatlined, as you can see, if we're taking a look here at April, when it comes to the average sales price compared to the original list, you're still looking at 96, 99, 98. So again, not taking a major hit. And we can even move this over to the median sale. So we've got a little bit more activity here with the median sales. But again, if we move it here to what our stats if we move it here to where our stats were in April, we're looking at 98, 100%, because those 100% are showing like we're in our spring market. And so sellers are getting what they're listing if it's priced appropriately. So, I hope that as we take a look at this is helpful, because again, one of the biggest questions that I continue to hear is just, when are prices coming down? And as you can see, we're sellers are not taking a big price hit. So when we go back to what are those conditions, yes, we've seen an uptick in inventory, but then if we compare that to where things are selling compared to the inventory, the things that are selling quicker than what they have been, and they're not taking much off the list price. They're not taking much off the list price, if anything at all. So again, we're not really seeing those price decreases. We are seeing a bit of inventory, but again, days on market's not increasing, it's actually decreasing. And then number of sales are actually up. So we don't have those conditions that would lead us to a market in retraction that would lead to a price decrease. Okay, so like I said, I hope that taking a look at those charts really started to paint the picture and give you an idea of exactly what's happening here in our Nashville real estate market. As of the springtime, we are continuing to see movement happening. May and June are shaping up to be great months. There's a lot of activity happening. We have started to see some multiple offer situations come back to the table. Now, it's not across the board. It certainly lends itself to certain price points. If the home is show ready, that's absolutely moving in a quick manner as well. So just know, if you're looking to get in, there's still opportunity depending on price point, depending on the desirability of the home. There can be multiple offer situations, but it could be where you're dealing with just a couple, maybe a handful of offers versus being up against, say, 30 or 40, like what we were seeing back in 2021 and 2022. So that is happening. We do have a healthy spring market taking place right now. Now, the one thing that I would give you caution, right now, interest rates are supposed to be holding steady for the next couple of months, with some variations, but if they do tick down later this year, they did predict supposedly that was happening in 2024, and we are waiting to see that actually come to fruition. But if it does, between the demand that we're seeing and interest rates going down, it could absolutely push us into more multiple offer situations, which again, demand drives pricing. So these are all things to keep in mind. If you are thinking about making a move to the Middle Tennessee area, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. All of my contact information is below, including a link to go ahead and book a Zoom to start that conversation. And if you're not quite ready for that just yet, that's okay too. I have a free Nashville relocation guide down below where you can click to download. Again, my name is Caitlin Martin. I'll see you next time.